Hi, everyone. It's Marcia Martin, the Heart Healer. And today we're talking about the law of restoration. When I found out, when I was first introduced to this law, it really got me excited because, like so many other people, I kind of felt that, hey, all of those things that I had done and perhaps done unsuccessfully, or the things that I had tried to do and didn't really understand how to do them, well, they had kind of passed me by. That part of my life was over, and I would just have to move forward and try to create something new and just let go of that good thing that I tried to do that didn't become much for me at that particular time. And it did leave me with a sense of loss. It did make me feel badly and start to berate myself, saying, oh gosh, if I'd only known that when I was trying to accomplish this particular thing, I would have handled it so much differently. And then, of course, I started engaging in the conversation, oh, if I could just go back and do it right. And how am I ever going to generate all of this goodwill that I've been putting out for this long? How am I going to generate that again so that I'll have a chance to be that light that I want to be in the world and be that successful person that brings forth ideas? So when I was introduced to the law of restoration, I was excited, and I still am excited about the law of restoration because it really helps us get clear that nothing goes away. Nothing is ever gone. We just have to be in the place to receive it. So let's look at what our guides say about the law of restoration, and we'll dig into it a little further. I do have a beautiful prayer that I want to share with you regarding the law of restoration, and I want to hear from all of you about what's going on in your life right now and how we can support you. So our guides begin. Dear ones, because of your awareness of time and of its passage, you have come to associate time with loss. In your minds, once something has passed you by, it can never come again. You've missed your opportunity, and that which was meant for you has gotten by you and gone to someone else. You have learned to think of your lives as a series of gains and losses, and you then measure the success of your life based on the amount of gain you perceive there to be, as opposed to the amount of loss. And I know personally that was always the way that I was operating. Did I acquire or accomplish anything, as opposed to, oh my gosh, look what's been taken away, or look what I allowed to get away from me. In this way, you become highly competitive and easily disappointed because you're viewing opportunity as a fragile thing that is elusive, hard won, and easily lost. However, that is just a damaging illusion that has made you its prisoner. It's a clever way to keep you driving yourself forward after something that you're sure will get away, never to come again. Can you feel the fear behind this mindset? Do you understand that anything motivated by fear is not coming from source? So important to keep that in the forefront of our minds. If there is a fear motivation, if you are feeling for some reason that you have to do it now because otherwise someone else will step up and take your place or take that thing that was meant for you, you are in the position of lack and fear, and whatever you try to do will be attached to that fear, so it probably will not be successful. We must remind you that energy, which is all anything is comprised of, cannot be destroyed. It can change form, but it cannot cease to exist. Therefore, all these things that have appeared to pass you by are still available to you. They may have changed form or evolved as you have evolved, but that which was originally meant for you is still and will always be available. You must simply recognize that that which is yours by divine right will always be there. Then lay claim to its energy so that it may circle back to you by using the law of restoration. When you call upon the law of restoration to help you reclaim that which was either yours and was taken away because of your lack thinking, or that which was meant for you but could not get to you because you never opened energetically to receive it, you are simply reactivating energy that was already designated for you. Again, here's a really important point that we need to look at. Nothing gets taken away because you don't deserve it. It doesn't get to you, or it gets removed from you because you're not willing to receive it. Your lack thinking says, I don't deserve this. It is not God pointing their finger at you and saying, you're bad and you do not deserve to receive. It's you saying, I am unworthy or unvaluable or something. Therefore, I will not place myself in the place where I can receive. For example, many of you who are without at this moment have spent endless years doing good works and simple kindnesses for others. When you were introduced to the law of attraction, you thought, oh, great! Now all of this good that I have done will find its way back to me. And then you sit and wait as you do more giving. However, the one thing you're not doing in this example is receiving, for you have done nothing to improve your relationship with yourself. So please, for all of you who spend your lives being loving and kind and good, do the extra work. Don't just stop there. Don't just say, oh, well, I'm just here to do good and it's okay if I don't receive. No, it's not okay. You must get in there into that heart space and find out why you are allowing this belief to exist for you, why this is true for you, and then do the work to energetically remove that false belief from your field, your energetic field. You have not gotten into the deep center of yourself and found the parts of you that feel unworthy. You have not lovingly addressed those aspects or taken the time to explore how something that feels like a reward could get through the impenetrable wall of unworthiness that you have surrounded yourself with. Therefore, before you call on the law of restoration, which is simply asking the universe to bestow upon you all of the gifts you were not open to receiving in the past, you must ensure that your ability to receive, to be open and in line with your good, is active and clear. Very important part here. They are telling us we can call on the law of restoration. We can say prayers. We can say, okay, all that good I did is coming back to me. But if you still have an impenetrable wall up that says, I am not worthy, nothing is going to be able to get through. It will be the same as before, and you will find yourself saying, well, that law of restoration is garbage. It doesn't do anything. It did everything. You were not allowing yourself to be in the place to receive. So you've got to remember your part in the process. When you call upon the law of restoration to bring forward to you all that was meant for you, which had previously passed you by, you are saying, I am now ready to receive. I am now standing in conscious awareness of my true value, and I am proud of my worth. I am shining my light and no longer hiding my magnificence. Look at what they are asking of you in this particular passage. You must stand up and say, I am worthy of receiving. I am valuable. Excuse me. I am proud of my worth. I shine my light. I no longer hide my magnificence. These are big, bold statements. You're not going to be able to make them if you've not gone and done the work that's necessary in order to clear out those old limiting beliefs that have gotten stuck in your energetic field. This is your time to receive fully everything that was meant for you. Just as the law says, your good, your finances, or whatever it is that you have stored up in the universal bank will now be restored to you if you're open to receiving it. Realize that the law of restoration is just like any of the other universal laws. Therefore, it is always working. However, you must be available if that which you seek is going to be restored into your life. If you simply state, I am worthy of receiving, please restore to me the good that was meant for me, all that is yours which you have not laid claim to will be on its way to you. It's very simple. There is nothing complicated about this law. The only caveat is that you must be open to receiving. Remember, we have free will. That means nobody can override what you have decided is going to be true in your life. You're the final deciding factor. God can come at you with all sorts of signs of, oh, you're so valuable, you're so wonderful, you're fabulous, you're this. And you can sit in your dark room with the blinds closed and a wall built around you, and you will never be able to lay claim to your magnificence. It's all about you opening up to all that you are. If you insist on staying in a place of unworthiness, the state in which you repeatedly declare, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, or it will never happen for me, then you guarantee that the good which you desire may be flooding the energetic space around you, but you would never be able to reach out and take hold of that good because in your current state of unworthiness, it simply would not exist for you. Let's really dig into that. Please pay attention to that. If you are in a state of unworthiness, if you are in the place where you are either making statements consciously or unconsciously where you are saying things like, I don't deserve it, or I'm not good enough, or the real death knell, well, it hasn't already happened, so it probably won't happen. It's never going to happen for me. If that's how you're feeling with some part of your energetic realm, or you're giving verbal acknowledgement to this, that good that surrounds you, it could materialize right in front of your eyes, and you wouldn't even be able to see it. We see only that which we allow. And that's why it's so important for us to understand we have the power. The power does not exist somewhere outside of ourselves. It exists within. You must get in touch with that God within and allow God to expand inside of you to become more of who you are. Partner more fully with God. Let go of what you can do by yourself and say hello to everything you can do with God. Because I guarantee you, God could lay the treasures of the world at your feet, but if you are saying, I'm not worthy, or it hasn't happened, so it will never happen, you'll trip over it, but you'll never look down to see what it was that you tripped over and go back and pick it up. It just wouldn't exist for you. Even if you were to look down, you would probably see a rock or something else that was an impediment on your path, when what you really had in front of you was every treasure you could possibly desire. Let go of what you think you have lost and lay claim to everything that is here for you now. Do your part by clearing out the worn-out beliefs that state, I am not worthy or valuable. Instead, stand up proud. Claim your place in the light. Ask that everything that was meant for you be restored, and use it to make a difference in your own life and in the lives of others. Be the light of the world. Now, I have many, many clients that I work with, and one thing that I hear so often is, oh gosh, I'm not sure that if I were given quite a bit of money or power or responsibility, that I would handle it very well. I just want to love people. I just want to, be in the background and love people and just try to make the world a better place. And the answer that I always respond with is, I hear what you're saying, and nobody is going to ask you to get out in front if that makes you uncomfortable. But I really want you to sit down and think about whether you would like the power and the wealth to be in the hands of people who are interested in making sure they have plenty and everybody else has just survival or barely survival, or whether you would feel that, hey, I really want the people that are doing good in the world to have access to the money, to the power, to the ability to make decisions, because that's the way we're going to make that change that we want to see in the world. So nobody is asking you to get in front if you feel uncomfortable, to make a speech or to take some kind of action that would make you feel uncomfortable is the only word that comes to mind. But I don't want you to say no to anything that's coming your way because you feel that it should be in the hands of people who are more powerful or will use the power because they're out in front. I want the power, the resources, and the decision-making capability to be in the hands of the people that are moving forward with love in their hearts. As I said, you don't have to get out in front, but I want you to have the resources because perhaps you find a speaker that is just so loving in their conversation and so inspiring, and you want to make sure the world knows about them. If you've got capital behind you, you may be able to help that person get out in front. So don't say no to any gift because you're afraid of it. Say yes to every good gift and then ask God to help you understand how to use it. God is not going to put you in a position where you're feeling really uncomfortable unless it's for growth, and then you will know that. God doesn't trick us into taking on positions or work that is out of line with our highest good. So before I share with you this prayer about the law of restoration, let's just review a couple of the things that our guides shared with us so that we can use them moving forward. The most important thing that I want us to take away from this and from that writing was that our lives, which give the appearance of going in a straight line, kind of from birth to death, we just go through this aging process and then we're done, are really circular. Everything can come back again. You do not need to age in the way that we believe that we should be aging. Yes, your body will grow and it will show signs of maturity, but it doesn't need to break down. You can stay vital and active throughout your entire life if you just keep allowing that energy of vitality to keep replenishing you. So let go of that worn out belief that we get old and then we die. What if we just say to ourselves, I'm going to be young and vital and active until I decide that I no longer want to be here, and then I'll close my eyes and simply transform back into my energetic state. I would much prefer to do that than to slowly deteriorate until I just give up and return to the energetic state. So just remember that that which you believe has passed you by can come to you again as soon as you are open to receiving it. Just like with the aging process, even if you believe or you have believed that the only trajectory your life can take is for your body to age until it has deteriorated to the point where you need to transition back into the energetic. Start today by saying, hey, I realize I swallowed a lie. And so I'm going to now start speaking to my body and speak vitality and health and life force back into it so that you can be productive and having a wonderful life up until the time you decide to return to the energetic state. Remember that fear says things like, I'm not good enough, it will never come again, I missed my chance, it's over. Those are just fear-based thoughts. It's a way for you to make yourself feel better because you feel like you missed an opportunity and you may be feeling foolish about missing that opportunity. So you want to say things to yourself like, oh, I don't deserve it, or it wasn't meant for me. Why don't we start saying to ourselves, hey, everything I desire is here for me now. I am so valuable and such a wonderful light in the world that whatever I desire makes its way to me easily so that I can continue to shine brightly for myself and others. The other thing that they really wanted us to remember was that you must improve your relationship with yourself if you are going to become a really good receiver. Now, what do they mean by that? You cannot pretend that those dark parts of yourself, the places where you feel unworthy or you feel badly about the way you handled a situation, or those situations in which you feel that you don't measure up. You can't keep those feelings or those energies active and still manage to be a good receiver. You're just going to push it away. Your lack of self-worth, your inability to feel your value is going to push it away so that it cannot come back to you, or if it does come back, you wouldn't be able to recognize it. So get into the heart Examine those feelings. Why are you feeling them? What generated them in the first place? And then, why are you allowing them to continue to control your life? Why are you holding on to that false belief when you have access to the truth, which is you're a child of God, and so you are incredibly worthy and deserving? Remember, we're using the law of restoration to bring forth everything that was meant for you. And before you start having that conversation of, gee, I wonder if anything was meant for me because I wasn't perfect in my life. I made mistakes. None of us are going to get through life without making mistakes. That's how we grow. But all of us came with everything that we need to succeed. Perfect for exactly what we needed to learn in this life. So yes, you do deserve that good. Call on the law of restoration to bring forth everything that was meant for you that you didn't lay claim to earlier. And before you go there, I just want to mention, this doesn't mean that you're being selfish. It's not selfish to say, bring forth my good. Because remember, if you want to do good, you must have the ability to take the action. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's say you want to help women and children who have fallen on a hard time and are having a difficult time. They have no male in the household who is providing an income. And so you would like to support women and children, so help these women get back on their feet. Well, that is a lovely thing to do, but how are you going to do it without resources? So that's why you want to call on the law of restoration to receive everything that passed you by so that you can make sure that you're okay. Remember, you have to get your own house in order first, because if you're being thrown out, if your house is being repossessed, it's going to be really difficult for you to help the other person. So get your own house in order first. Make sure you're where you need to be. And then out of your overflow, help somebody else get back on their feet. Now, they did mention one other thing that I thought was so incredibly powerful, because I hear this a lot as well. Well, people will say, it hasn't happened, therefore it's never going to happen, or it can never happen, or, yeah, I tried that, but nothing happened, so I'm not going to try that again. That is just as damaging as saying, I am unworthy. It's really the same thing. You're just hiding it in a different set of words. So what I want you to start beginning to say is, it didn't happen before because I wasn't expecting it to happen. I wasn't in the place where I was going to allow it to happen. And even if it was happening, I wouldn't have recognized it. So whatever happened before is what happened before. I'm going forward with a brand new attitude, and I'm just going to assume that everything that I need is going to be there when I need it. I recognize that I am valuable and worthy, that I am part of God, and I am everything I need to be right in this moment. And so from that place of perfection, I'm going to move forward, and I am going to claim my good and just let go of whether it happened or didn't happen before. It doesn't matter. And remember, and I thought this was so wonderfully said, the way they said that even if good were to spring up all around you, or treasure were to magically appear all around you, if you're not in the space to receive it, it will not exist for you. Now, let's take that even further and understand that if somebody else, if two people are walking down the street and you're saying to yourself, oh, I call upon the law of restoration, but it didn't happen before and I really don't deserve it. And, well, you've called upon the law of restoration. All of that is already on its way back to you, but you're not going to be able to see it. But let's say there's a person walking next to you and they say to themselves, wow, I'm ready to receive all of that good that I just let get away from me before. They're going to be able to see it. They may even tap you on the shoulder and say, look at this. Do you see all of this? Isn't this fabulous? And you may look right at it, and it will not exist for you. Your walls can be that strong, that impenetrable. That person will be over there reaching out for their good and saying, oh my gosh, this is fabulous. It's everything I could have desired. And you'll reach out and grab empty air because your disbelief and your unwillingness to receive will prevent it from happening for you. Please do not stay stuck in unworthiness. Because it just simply cannot happen. So recognize your role in the receiving process. You cannot stand idly by and hope. This is not, oh, I hope so kind of energetic work. This is take massive action. And by taking massive action, I don't mean go out and tell everyone you meet about the law of restoration. I mean go inward and look at any dark places that may still be in you and begin doing the work to clear them out. That's the kind of massive action that has success attached to it. Get rid of everything that's holding you back. Recognize your perfection. Participate fully by stepping into the light and claiming your good so it can be available to you. No one is unworthy. Everyone has God inside of them. And it doesn't matter what mistakes you made. You made a mistake? Own up to it. Whoa, that was really a bad thing to do. Let me move forward from here. Let me claim my good so I now have something to offer to everyone who I want to help. So now I want to read you this prayer about the law of restoration. I don't remember the name of the original author, so I apologize if the person, for all we know, may be listening on this call. If you wrote this prayer for the law of restoration, please let us know so that we can acknowledge you and thank you. However, I did learn this prayer from Rebecca Marina Messenger, a wonderful spiritual teacher. Rebecca Marina Messenger. She was the one that introduced me to this prayer. And she did give the name of it was a woman, I do remember. She did give the name of the woman, and I just cannot recall. So, let's take a couple of deep heart breaths and put ourselves in that state of receptivity. Breathing in through the nose, allowing that breath to energize the midbrain area. And now allowing the breath to move down the rainbow chute directly into the heart, flooding the heart with love and encouraging any negative belief or limiting thought to begin moving out of the heart. Breathing into the midbrain area, exhaling through the heart. So it's as though you are breathing through the heart. This is the prayer of the law of restoration. I call on the great law of restoration. Excuse me. Let me start over. I call on the great law of restoration. My good of past and present is now divinely restored. All the blessings that should have been mine are still available to me in whatever present form is best. The good that is for me presses upon me, and I accept it. I am receiving my highest good of mind, body, and affairs now. My accumulated good of past and present now pours forth into my life with rich blessings, and I welcome them. So let's say that one more time. I call on the great law of restoration. My good of past and present is now divinely restored. All the blessings that should have been mine are still available to me in whatever present form is best. The good that is for me presses upon me, and I accept it. I am receiving my highest good of mind, body, and affairs now. My accumulated good of past and present now pours forth into my life with rich blessings, and I welcome them. So now it's your turn. Who would like to share with us, *2 to raise your hand, who would like to share with us either something that you're working on that the law of restoration will kind of gave you new life and you're feeling like, oh, good, I can tackle this again. I'm ready to receive that good that got away from me. Or share with us something that you may be working on or a place where you may be feeling confused about how to apply the law of restoration. Remember, there are no questions or comments that are silly, because I can guarantee you if you're thinking it, I may have been thinking it and forgot to mention it, or others on this call are thinking it as well. So please contribute. Please share your concerns and your questions with us, or share your excitement, a way in which you too are using the law of restoration or plan on using the law of restoration. David, how are you?
Hi, Marcia. Good day to you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you, David.
Can you hear me now?
Can you turn up your microphone?
Yes. Can you hear me now? How about now?
I
No?
still can't hear you.
Hey, that's weird.
Oops. Okay, we're trying it again. David, what can you share with us?
Can you hear me okay now? Marcia?
I'm still not hearing you.
Okay.
Okay, is there anyone else that has something that they would like to share with us? And it looks like we've lost David, so hopefully when he comes back, we'll be able to hear him. Anyone else that would like to share with us something that you either need help with or something that you're moving toward that we can support you as a community. And here's David, so let's hope his microphone is working. David.
Hi, Marcia. Uh, Still not working?
I still can't hear you.
That's weird. Hey.
It is completely quiet on my side. I cannot hear you.
Okay, that's weird.
Okay, David, we got to try it again. Monique?
Yes, I only want to say that I can hear
Gosh, is it me?
David also.
Hang on a second, guys, here. Oh, okay. No, all I can hear is me.
Yes, it's on your side.
All right, Monique, try it. Monique, try it again, honey.
I want to tell you that I can hear David.
Oh, lovely. Well, fabulous. Okay, anything that you would like to share, and then we'll get back to David?
Yeah, well, I think I'm working on myself, and well, you know that I was in ONS, and then I was getting back now in 5D, and yeah, you know, I was in the event last year, and I misclaim things. But I can also not be somebody else because I know who I am already. So I try to back in and going a lot of walking and singing in nature. So I'm just busy with myself and I am going deep into my inner self.
Great. Oh, fabulous. There's no better healing than...
Yeah, and I know it's still there. So, yeah.
Oh, fabulous. Okay, I'm going to...
Yeah.
David is ready, so David, I apologize for you.
Well, I hope it's okay now.
It's perfect.
Okay, well, woohoo! The topic of today, well, you couldn't be picking a better time because it's really divine timing to hear this for myself, but for all of us, I guess. I feel a lot of changes, and I didn't know about this law, so it's perfect timing for me. And what I wanted to say is that I think it's time for us to slow down and receive, because yesterday and today there's a lot of new feminine energy coming into the world. So everybody who's ready to receive can feel it, and I feel it big time. And so this law of restoration, yeah, it all fits together today.
Oh, perfect. Well, there are no mistakes. And I'm so grateful that you shared that with us. And so many people that I work with are really having that unsettled feeling right now.
Mm-hmm.
So fabulous advice. Just slow down. Just get into your state of receiving. Slow down. It's okay. There's no do it today or miss out kind of feeling. And certainly in my life, that was kind of the way that I, definitely the way that I grew up is, if you don't take action, the phrase was strike while the iron is hot. If you don't take action, when this opportunity presents itself, you're done. You're done. And so I realized that I was constantly living in this state of stress, always concerned that I would miss that opportunity, even if I wasn't ready for it, even if I felt like, I don't really want to do this, but I'm scared, I'm afraid that if I don't say yes to this thing someone wants me to do, that I won't have another chance. And so, even if I did say yes, I would generally not do a very good job because I had been motivated by fear in the first place. And I kind of hear that coming from so many of the people that I'm working with. And so, David, thank you for that wonderful comment about the energy coming in is something that we have not really experienced, definitely not in this lifetime. And I don't think in much of Earth's evolution has this kind of divine feminine energy been present. So it may take us some time to get used to it. And then we have to slow down and just let it process. Let it settle in where it's going to settle in, and then ask God how we can best make use of this gift that we've been given. Do you have any understanding, David, of how long this particular energy infusion will continue?
Well, I don't know exactly, but yeah, you must know that this month is a month full of strong moon energy.
Mm-hmm.
Started with the full moon and it will end with the full moon. And they say that doesn't happen a lot in 1 month.
Right.
So also moon is for feminine energy. So it's representing like the receiving part, and feminine energy is us receiving. And we need to, it needs to settle in. We're not, like you said, we're not used to being in a receiving mode, and we need to be aware of, our lives are changing, and we need to be more open and in a receiving state, and that's the feminine side, right?
Yes, and something else they're saying is we are not used to trusting. We are not used to trusting Source. We are all grew up, if you're really over, 30? We all grew up with, you better go out and get it.
Mm-hmm.
No one is going to do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go after whatever you desire.
Mm-hmm.
So, we all grew up with that kind of push mentality. And this is because the energy is very, almost overwhelming in its intensity,
Mm-hmm.
and it's causing us to slow down. It's forcing us to become better at trusting.
Yeah.
We've got to trust that it's all going to work out even if we're not doing anything to, quote unquote, move our lives forward. I know I certainly have been pulling back more and more, and David, you and I both are playing this game with Facebook where they do not want that message out. And so it has forced us to sort of pull back a little bit, slow down, give a little less, and be a little bit more receptive and much more trusting that whatever it is we need will find us, or we will find it. I'm not sure which way it's going to go, or maybe it goes both ways. But it's definitely stepping into that place where we're in the right place at the right time, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that absolutely blew my mind, though, was when they said, even if God were to lay all the treasures of the world at your feet, if you are looking at your life or yourself as unworthy, you won't see them. That really hit me hard. That really was like, oh my gosh. Yeah. We've got to be so much more mindful and so much more present and so much more willing to accept who we are as worthy individuals, or we're never going to get this world shifted over into the love vibration that we want it to have.
I know. We have so many dreams, and I was kind of surprised, like even thoughts and feelings like I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, I'm too old.
Yep.
It's,
Yep.
and it's all divine timing. It's not even up to us, I guess.
Very true. I mean, it's no mistake that we chose to come in the year that we came in. We've got to get over these numbers that we're attaching to our lives and these finite kind of things. And Tina, I see your hand is raised, so we're going to bring you in just a minute. But we've got to just let go. What if our life expectancy becomes 150 or 200? Why are we still hanging on to old beliefs when we have witnessed so much that shows us that none of it is relevant, that none of it has anything to do with anything unless we assign it that value? And I was talking with Tina yesterday, and we were saying, when you look at the yogis, you can see that they have matured. In some cases, their hair has gone white. But you look at their face, and you don't see aging on their face. You see a beatific, radiant being. And you know that their body is really not declining. They look healthy and vital. Just because the hair chose not to stay a dark color doesn't really have much to do with anything. When you look at the vitality that comes off of them, they're not young, but at the same time, they don't look like they're functioning with any kind of age-related restrictions. So it's time for us to realize that too. We've got to remember, we chose the year we came in. The day we chose the day we came in. So it has to be perfect. It can't be anything else, or it wouldn't have happened that way. So David, thank you.
You're welcome.
And Tina, what would you like to share? Oh no, I can't hear Tina. Hang on, let me turn up the volume. Tina? I really can't hear you.
Hello? Hello?
Okay, now I got you.
Okay. I know, I was going to share from, last night I had got off the phone with you, and I really sat with myself and really understood what you were trying to say, and it really clicked in because I think what it was all the fear base of how I was, and I really with you having everybody else on the conference call, is just like I see that they have the same thing what I feel, and I felt so alone. But then like I said last night, I just prayed and I asked for guidance, like what you were saying and everything. And I mean, you're so beautiful, Marcy. Oh my God, you're so gorgeous. But I just wanted to say that it just really helped me understand that, asking and it will be received. And I hit a poll on that and saying that, maybe I don't deserve this and maybe it's not going to work for me, but it did. I got up and I said, okay, I got to take my grandson to school. And I thought walking out that door, just walking out the door, felt like I couldn't do it. But I got up and I kept telling my husband, I'm not getting up. I'm not going to get up. I can't do this. And then I said, okay, what did Marcy say? So I sat and prayed. And I said, okay, I got up, got ready, and I walked my grandson to the bus stop. We missed the bus, but we came back, and I just said, okay, I got to really feel like, okay, nothing is going to attack me anymore because, being so sensitive that, energies are just whamming me. And I said, okay, I had enough of it, and I'm going to put a stop to this because I do not accept anybody else's negative energy or anything that is trying to attach to me, I pull it, I stop it at the doorstep, as you said, to stop it, and I put pink covers around them and everything. And I had a good day today, and I just knew that, okay, and as David was saying, we don't feel worthy, and that's where and he just really helped me open my door on, boy, yeah, that is true. And now I feel like just 5 minutes ago I said, I am worthy. I do deserve to have all my gifts. I do, because I know all the empaths on here and everywhere on Facebook have the agenda to do good for others. We're not going to fall back on trying to hurt anybody. We want to see everybody succeed. And I think that's where I'm at, because I said, I share everything with everybody, and I give everybody gratitude about, I give them their hype that they are doing good. And I always want to share, and I felt like some people say don't share it, don't say nothing, because, you shouldn't be opening your mouth. But then I thought, well, aren't we supposed to help people get to the light, get to where their gifts are at? And that's what I felt like. I want to share it with everybody, and if it's not the right time, I understand. But I feel like can't we just tell everybody they're of love? If you share the love, if you stand in the light, you are a light worker. And I get told that you can't tell everybody that. How could we not say that if we're trying to get them to awaken? And that's why I really had another awakening today that, I can share that, because that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to share everything we learned, because that's where we're going to get them to awaken. Even if they don't open up to it right away, we at least, like you say, Marcy, all the time, plant the seed. That's all I understand is plant the seed. That's all I want to do. And I get so emotional on this. Sorry.
But you're absolutely right. Why?
Yeah.
When we understand that, even if you were to say to somebody, oh, you are such a beautiful and amazing and magnificent person, and that person was in a really bad headspace, and they weren't able to receive that, do you think that it's better just to keep quiet and assume, well, most people are not able to receive, so I'm not going to share loving and kind words with everyone, because I'm just going to assume that they won't be able to receive them? Think about how many times something that you have said or something that someone has said to you has made such a difference, even if you're feeling unworthy. Even if you're feeling like, oh, you're just saying that, I don't believe it. The fact that someone would take time out of their day to say to you, oh, wow, Tina, you are so valuable, is going to get through a little bit, or at least will float around for them to think about if they're not ready to receive it at that time. So I say absolutely share everything you know. And if somebody is not ready to receive it, it's just not going to exist in their energetic space. But perhaps their door is open a little bit. And so that which you're sharing may kind of get in there and start making them curious about what it was that you meant. What exactly was Tina trying to share? Maybe I didn't understand her completely, but what exactly was Tina trying to share? And can I find somebody else that can shed light on this for me?
Yeah,
So
you're right.
I think you should continue to shine your light as brightly as you can and share with everyone, and just not worry about whether they're ready to receive it or not.
Yeah.
So, David, go ahead.
Or like what you're saying is like, don't listen to the negative people to tell you shut up and don't talk, and you're talking at the wrong time. And I feel like as long as I'm sharing my love, as long as I'm sharing a good word, have all the right to tell people what I know and to let them know. And I feel like some people, you know my history, Marcy, and you know my family history. And I think with my family history is like my sister is an awakened person, but I feel, I mean, you know, she's a light worker. And when I was told her friends that they're light workers, and I was told not to say that to everybody, I was like, well, as long as they stand in love. And I even said that if you have that love for all, and if you stand up for all, you are a light worker. Who says we are? Who gives that a right to say no one is? You know, as long as you don't sit and throw hate, you know, you could still become a loving person, of a light worker. And, you know, to be told not to talk and say stuff, I felt like, gosh, then you're dimming my voice. And I don't want that. I want to share as much as I can with everybody. Even if I do this in my life, Marcy, even if I don't do anything else in my life, as long as I could do this, I feel like I accomplished something. That's all I can say. And with all the work you helped me through, Marcy, I'm so glad you're still working with me. You are such an amazing, I honor you. I honor you as the beautiful teacher that you are.
Well, thank you, honey, but claim your part in this. Remember, you had to be a good receiver in order to let go of the painful things that you endured in your past. But I say, tell everybody how you feel. You are the best sharer of love that I have ever met. So I want more people to be like you, because then we will be more willing to be kind to each other. Yeah. David has his hand raised, so
okay.
Let's hear from David too.
I just wanted to say that Tina has a beautiful light, so keep on shining your light. And I want to share with everybody else that this year is a special year for all of us. It's a year of self-mastery, so we need to put ourselves first, and this will help receive much more and keeps us balanced so we can shine more.
Oh, brilliant. And so true. Self-mastery, which means, hey, guys, we can't put it off on somebody else. So-and-so did not do this to you. You did it to yourself. You may have allowed them to help you do it to yourself, but we got to remember how powerful we are so that nobody can take from us that which belongs to us. We have to give it away. They can't come in and take it. We have to say, oh, yeah, you're right. I'm not worthy. Here you go. Take my portion. Please, let's all dig in and really get a hold of self-mastery. It's this new energy is just ushering in. Let's ride the wave and go as far as we can go together and commit to supporting each other on this journey. We need each other now more than ever, and the world needs us to be at our very best. So let's commit to supporting each other and supporting ourselves. And don't forget, and I hear this so often, I feel so alone and isolated. Don't forget, we are here as a community. Bring other people onto the call. If you hear them say that, encourage them to come onto the call. If I can figure out what's allowed on Facebook, maybe we'll put a group together for us that we know is very selective and is only going to be filled with people who will be supportive. So this is your community. Invite other people to it if you hear them say that I feel alone or lost or confused. And always participate as much as you like. There's no punishment for not participating, but we do love to hear from you. So I thank all of you for being on the call today. And next week, again, we're staying with Wednesdays. And we're going to be looking at the law of expansion. And I know we're doing a lot on laws, But let's look at the law of expansion this next week. Someone had suggested it's the law of extension. But as I've been exploring it after hearing their talk, I like the word expanding more than extending. And, my guides always have the final word, so it may change again before Wednesday. But for now, I want to thank you all for being here. Especially thank you for participating. And for those of you who are just choosing to listen, thank you for holding loving space for all of the rest of us. But we want you to know that whenever it feels good to you to add a comment, you are completely welcome. We want to hear from you. So thank you all, sending you all a big, giant hug. And remember what David shared with us. Divine feminine energies are pouring in. Open your heart to receive because you are worthy.